Video overlay.
Alright, back into the trial we go. October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
The prosecution will show the court at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
Chocolate cake. Whoop, sorry. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio. See? This here is the employee area. The actors are the run through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station is this gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Hmm. Should I listen to that whole thing again?
Should you bail?
Um, I don't know if we're gonna get any new information from having him say it again.
Should we skip it?
Yeah. I think I can probably remember that. Mm. So the murder weapon was a spear. Did it shake? How medieval.
Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call this security officer to the stand. It's all me voices, apparently. Will the witness
I like
declare her
that.
name? Hmm. My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Hmm. Your name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma and guess out of the Oldbag, which is her name, dear. Now, the other children used to make fun of me calling me names. Do you believe it? Now, there is this boy at Capital Chess Club Junior High. He called me an Oldbag as well. I cried and crushed and you see. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
Oh, I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate of the murder, correct?
The main gate of the murder. Nice. Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
Oh, you know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
Witness account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 o'clock when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then till 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Hmm. Very well. Let's begin the cross examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, did anything stick out to you?
One day of the murder arrived at it's been so long since we've played. I don't know if anything is going to pop up. But on the day of the murder, I arrived. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through that morning. That's true. She had some errands to run that morning. It was 1 o'clock when she got to the guard station. I was at the main gate until 5 o'clock, and the murder happened at 2:30. Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 o'clock p.m. and it was Powers.
I think we should press those last two statements because everything else seems a bit solid.
I agree. 2 o'clock? You're sure?
Sure as spit. Hook too.
Well, who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. Where's the studio?
So you saw Mr. Powers.
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, sonny. Oi, Nick, this is your chance.
Yeah. Time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him. I guess they want us to present the photo because the panties are all droopy droopy.
Let me get this straight. Old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, right? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr.
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers you saw?
Of course, didn't your mama teach you any sense, sonny?
Oh,
Anyone can
wow.
plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Um, well, I mean, I wonder.
True. Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
Ugh. I I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of be.
No one in this court is accusing you of being young.
He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers.
Humph. You nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
Even Edgeworth
Naive.
is surprised.
The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should all be ashamed of yourselves. All of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow. Old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good.
Let's hear about your proof then.
The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
Hmm. So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
Ooh, naughty. Alrighty then. What to press? What to press? Should we press the dragging leg thing?
Yeah. Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. Hmm. So he was strangely. So he's walking strangely because he was injured. It does look like he was dragging it.
It does look like he was dragging his foot.
See? I knew you didn't trust me. Whippersnapper. Uh, well, the thing I don't like is because you can clearly see, like, in the photo, using my little mousey here, you can see him lifting his foot here. So that wouldn't be him dragging anything, really. So I knew it was Powers happy.
Still, still, you can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers.
Objection. Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg.
He, he has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers.
There's got to be more to this. I'd better keep pressing her.
Alright, what about the broken spear? Because I don't know about you, but I don't think you could stab someone with a broken weapon. I mean, you could, I guess.
He broke a prop?
Sure did, his own samurai spear.
His samurai spear. The murder weapon.
Luckily I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record.
Samurai spear updated in the court record.
Was Mr. Powers' ankles badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay.
don't know what to press. I don't think we have anything that would present. Since really our only two things are spear and photo. Press everything, I guess. Well,
Uh, trip and fall?
yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Power sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better.
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was this assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Power's ankle. Hmm.
Hmm.
You may continue your testimony. Well, I'm stumped, Bale.
He broke one of the props. We already went over that one. What are the ones we've already looked at?
Basically, everything past what we just. He sprained the ankle. Oh, I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Bale?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is.
Where is the steel samurai costume now?
Uh, hmm. Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Object or wait and see?
We don't have anything to support the objection, do we?
Well, if we. I'm not sure, but if we don't do something, then they might rule guilty. So, there's that.
I mean, damn, loss. Okay. I guess we object.
Well, just to be safe, I'll do a little save.
This is the first time we've considered save scumming.
It's not that big of a deal.
Mm-mm. Wrote it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. Hmm.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Oh, then allow allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Witness account continued. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Bowers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Dun dun.
Alrighty then. Was 2:30, which is correct. Was Will Powers. Press.
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking, right?
And no one else went there. Mm,
What about before you got to the guard station?
you mean before 1 o'clock? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, they had I would have seen them.
Are you sure?
Objection. The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let them have it, edgy boy.
E- Edgy boy.
Oh,
Old
oh,
Wimpak.
oh, you're trying to steal my lines? You
Not on purpose.
bastard. Old Wimback sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean.
Old Wimpak has a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps.
Alrighty then. We pressed everything. Well,
Hold on, my headphones died while I was trying to plug them up. Loose.
yes.
All right.
I'm gonna be pressing the last thing just to see.
How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective, and then, after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts.
Alright, so we pressed
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
And that's basically it. And it goes into the whole Winbag has balls thing. So we've pressed everything. So the only thing I can think of, Bale, is when if they had I would have seen them, is to present the guide map because you could get from Studio 2 to Studio 1 without it being seen by the camera, which is at the gate.
I agree.
So,
But are we allowed to?
well, we can present it.
Okay.
I think I was wrong.
Your Honor, that statement contradicts the evidence.
It does? I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Well, that didn't go over so well.
Mm, then I don't know. Did I press this one? Let me just check. Oh yeah, you're absolutely sure. Quite, quite. I was just looking. Uh, maybe I present the photo to the only person I saw because this is photo number 2, and one we don't have photo number 1. Thoughts?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I was correct
How do you know? Hold on.
because we have a little life bar at the top, and when I did the
It didn't
wrong
go
thing,
down.
yeah, it also flashes red if you're doing a wrong thingy. Look at this photograph. I had to do the meme. I'm sorry. It's like a law.
I've actually never heard of this meme.
You never heard
Look
of
at this.
Hmm?
you never heard of that meme?
Mm-mm.
It's like you never heard of the Nickelback song based on.
No,
Oh, alrighty then. Carry on.
I don't really listen to Nickelback. Sorry.
Well, I don't either. It's just a funny thing that came from it. Carry on, my
Look at
wayward son.
Wow. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sir, sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it is also true that the computer in the guard station records all that security camera data.
Oh, if you want to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 o'clock p.m. Photo number 2.
Even I know that it means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 5th to 15th. Really, Sonny.
I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2.
The computer computer only held data for one photo that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number one? If it really was the only photo.
Rubble, 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 rubble.
Order! Order! Please tell the courts what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that no one but two people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos.
Actually, now that I think about it, shouldn't there be more photos because the crew had to go to the studio to find the body?
Yes,
This computer system confuses me.
yes.
Who could have erased
The data for the other photo. Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Yeah? Well, you watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Bowers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means two people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
And the
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Eddie boy, help. Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Somehow you're a whippersnapper too. Mm, Whippersnapper?
something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Rubble, 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 smack.
I see. Your testimony, please.
The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway,
Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross examination.
Well, I say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Alright. Finish the guard duties. Through the photos. Any photos that aren't suspicious looking. Throwing one out, please continue.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
Humph, a fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and
And?
the kids, children, the whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably second or third grade. Rubble, rubble.
Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade.
Oh, yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him. A boy in the second or third grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible. I think it's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecutor to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3.
What we nomming on?
Girl Scout cookies.
Hmm. What kind?
Um, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're kind of like Oreos in that they're like the two cookies with a cream in the middle. One vanilla, one chocolate. I tried to stealth eat it, but that last bite caught up to me.
Mr. Powers,
Yes.
tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go into the studio?
I I didn't go into the studio. I was sleeping. Honestly.
So, ooh, ooh. So who was the steel sam? Oh, who was the steel samurai in that security photo?
He has the old pip pip to get it started.
How should I know? The steel samurai costume in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would come in and try to steal a steel samurai costume. So where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick, what are we going to do?
First, first we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down we can get another day.
Right? If we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Oi, Nick, it's time.
Damn.
It was
You
on.
know,
It
isn't
was
that
on.
what you want to hear?
It's only.
That's exactly what you want to hear your lawyer say.
You don't want to hear a lawyer just say, "Oh, I'm not optimistic at all." Actually,
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
things you never want to hear your lawyer say. I'm not optimistic, and a degrading sigh.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studio was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have who committed who could have who could have committed the crime.
Hold on! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
Do we point a finger at Penny, the boy, or Windbag?
I mean, we don't technically have any proof that she left at any point, but the person that I want to point the finger at is the assistant.
Do you have any proof?
No. We don't have any proof for Windbag either.
Yes, but Windbag is currently in the courtroom, and following the logic of games.
That's true. Yeah, we can try that. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Who?
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person, other than Power and Hammer, who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
Whippersnapper! Rubble, rubble, rubble. Smack, smack, smack.
Oh,
Is this true?
is this true? Old bag.
Oldbag, that's Miss Oldbag to you.
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai's costume, then slipped into Studio One, the scene of the murder.
That's a tricky order of words. Steal the steel.
It is.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai's costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here, Sherlock Holmes the second, baby. Yeah, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump on with an objection or some kind of damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any opinion on this matter? Or are you pussy?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so y'all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. Do we press further, or do we give Grandma a break?
Um, I don't know how much left we would press. I think we're good.
So give the break.
Yeah, video game logic says that we could probably press, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna get anything new.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm yawning. I guess this does kind of make it look like she's the killer. Funny. I feel bad for her all of a sudden.
Oh, you only now you suddenly feel bad for framing up an old woman for murder.
Hmm. It's true that the witness could conceivably have committed this crime. Yet we must not forget that the victim was an action hero. As formidable as her personality, I doubt she'd be strong enough.
Uh-oh. If he removes her from consideration, that means Mr. Power is it. Sorry, Windbag, but I don't have a choice. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hannah?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too.
Hmm.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Heh, Bale, how would you feel if a guy framed you for murder and he was like, no hard feelings? No hard feelings, right?
Burn his house down.
Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? That boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler. Though, as you said, second or third grade. Was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10-second stops. He had the jaundice.
Hmm. She a little freak bitch, ain't she, Mr. Right?
That boy isn't a killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders' day, whippersnapper?
Have proof.
I have proof.
Proof?
Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this crime. Hmm?
The spear? Because otherwise it's the photo, the guard key, and the guide map. Spear?
Yawning.
I was yawning. Sorry.
Ah,
Um, let's see. Um,
yeah,
well, first off, I don't think he could carry that spear.
so present the spear? Or...
Yeah. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. The spear that was shown in that photo. How could a boy so tiny, so fragile, so young have taken the fucking spear? It's impossible.
Yep. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Is our perpetrator little He-Man?
The windbag. Speechless. I like it.
Very well. Court will suspend the proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name?
Something old bag, Your Honor. Oh,
That is all. Court is adjourned.
Hey, Lost, do you mind if we take a quick break? My stomach is doing backflips. Or if you want to voice everyone while I'm gone.
no, we can take a break.
We don't have that much time left, but the
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 pot
the
is
the por
bubbling.
let's say the porcelain throne calls my name.
Mm-hmm. Go, I will talk to the void. Shout words into it.
Yeah, tell it it's pretty.
Void, you are pretty. So, how's the void today? Everyone feeling good? Feeling happy? Oh, someone's playing Corpse Party. We should do that someday. Play Corpse Party. Get two people who are terrified and easily frightened to play the horror games. Hmm. If we do play horror games, what should we play? I mean, I have an idea for like visual novel horror, and I suppose Corpse Party somewhat counts. That would be fun one day to be terrified. Hmm. This yelling into the void business is hard. Yodelay hee hoo. Hmm. So Void, they they released a new Smite God today. Assassin goes into walls. Looks rather fun. Hmm. So Void, how you doing? Having fun? Had some tasty dinner? I had pasta for dinner today. It was fine. I mean, yelling into the void is hard.
You know, I wouldn't really have a problem playing Corpse Party.
You startled me, but go on.
I'm all for it. Also, the Adventures of Lost and Void.
There's only so
Are-
much I can yell into the void, Vale.
it was funny because I have wireless headphones, so I heard it all. All right.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree, which is me. I am the tree in this scenario. I'm talking. Oh, great, please. Oi, oi, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag! What is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about.
By whom?
Hmm. You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
My lips were sealed. Global Studios want me to keep quiet about something. They were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they haven't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Hell yeah, sister. Defy your bosses.
Fuck that job.
Miss Oldbag! This is crucial information. Why did you keep this a secret until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross examination.
Cross-examination. Want me to keep quiet about something? There were some other people on the studio. Who were these people?
Who are these people?
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So who were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, when's the Studio Number 2 trailer?
Studio 2? This is Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path. The path where the monkey's head had fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross examination?
Hmm.
Continue or take a break.
You said what?
Continue or take a break. Cause I,
Take a break.
all right,
We're stalling for time, right?
yeah, we have a half hour.
Your Honor. We have learned there were others at Global Studios on that day. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
Hmm. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecutor will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This is the end of today's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. Court is adjourned.
October 18th, 1:04 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Thank you. Thank.
Oh, shit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I sniff?
Well, we'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross examination.
Oi, Nick. Have we figured out just who was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been the old windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't. I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off of Mr. Powers.
Hey Bill, if I'm ever on trial for murder, can you be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off me?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well, fine then.
sorry. I'm sorry to tell you.
Poor old Windbag. I'm going to feel sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't any winning any points there with or without my execution accusation.
With
Okay, let's get down to the studios.
with or without me putting her in the guillotine. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys.
To be continued.
Looks
Saving.
like we might actually finish this today.
Finish the trial?
Uh huh.
No. We have to do another investigation scene. And then another trial. October 18th, Wright and Co. Law Offices.
Woo! What a day.
This is no time for relaxing, Nick. Say, you think WB's got a chance?
Hmm. I guess that really depends on the people we found out about in today's trial.
The director and producer.
Yeah, them.
Well, what are we doing here then? Let's get to the studios. I guess we could just have some pointless conversation with Maya. Let's
That'd
go.
be useful.
Uh, to have pointless conversations with her.
No, yeah. Who
Mario.
wouldn't want to have a pointless conversation?
Well, you can have this pointless conversation right now.
Oh, Mr. Wright, thank you for earlier. Not at all. Not at all. We got lucky, to tell the truth.
You can say that again.
Let's not.
So, WB, do you have any leads that might get us going in the right direction?
Mm, sorry, but no.
Be sure to tell us anything that comes to mind, no matter how small.
We can't rely on getting lucky again. Yes. Yes.
Let's talk about the fanboys.
Do fanboys sneak into the studios often?
Do they try and peek at you while you're taking a shower?
Yawning. No, not that I know of. The security lady's pretty strict with them.
But in today's testimony, didn't she say they were often hanging around?
The kids really, really love the Steel Samurai. They sneak past when she's not looking, I guess.
What can you tell us about the director?
Was the director present at the morning run through? Yeah, he was. He was directing how the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate should move.
Why didn't you tell us that before?
Well, it's just that the studio asked us to be quiet.
That has nothing to do with this. I hate to repeat myself, but Nick here is a newbie lawyer, fresh off the bar. Fresh off the barbie. When he loses, he's gonna lose big.
I I see. Whose side is she on?
I'm on my side. You aren't hiding anything from us, are you?
Power of God in anime.
Who has the power of God in anime?
No,
Oh,
I sure hope not. I sure hope not.
you sure hope you don't have the power of God in anime on your side?
Not that.
The main gate? October 8th, 2:16 p.m. Global Studios main gate. No one's here.
Right now, right now that they have Miss Old, right now that they have old, right now that they have Miss Oldbag in custody, I guess they don't have anyone to replace her.
Hey, in the gas station. Look, she left her donuts. Let's steal them. Oh, what? I wasn't going to eat them. I was going to steal them. Then eat them.
I
Jimmy?
don't think that. Don't think that helps, bud. Studio. The camera that runs the studio security cameras. Hmm. Looks like it's been turned off for there.
Well then.
Sounds like somebody's messing around with evidence.
Sure sounds like it, huh? October 18th, Global Studios employee area. Look, it's that assistant girl. Oi!
uh, ha, was this me or
Yes,
you or?
this was you doing like a nerdy girl voice.
Hi, WP's lawyers, right? I heard about the trial. Great job, guys. Don't mention it. Is it true they caught the security lady? Actually, she just called me. She told me to cover up that drain. You mean that one? Oh, wow, what a mess. Uh, I know. I'm not so good with the handiwork. Some assistant, right?
Yeah, but you do work on the props and the backdrops, right?
Right. Right?
I'm sorry, I'm just caught off by the fact I can see her collarbone through her shirt. How tight is that thing she's wearing?
Super tight. Just lots of times they end up looking worse than they did before I fixed them.
Oh, oh, well, I'm sure these things happen. Nothing to worry yourself about.
You're right. Personally, I think she should worry at least a little bit more. You'll excuse me. I have to go back to the guard station. On scratching.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to fill in for Miss Oldbag.
Right, see you later then. You don't have any donuts left, though. I ate them all.
Good luck with your investigation.
Let us examine. Bike.
Looks like one of those electric powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point?
It makes it a lot easier to go up hills.
It, don't people cycle to get exercise?
Yeah, but hills suck. Backdrop.
There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle. Probably Neo Old Tokyo Castle.
The drain. So the fanboy they were talking about in the trial today, he came in through that drain.
So it seems. I guess they covered it up in a hurry.
Oi, oi Nick. If that drain's covered, the boy won't be able to get in.
Yeah, I think that was the idea.
I feel kind of sorry for him though, don't you?
What, you want to rip the grate off?
Really, Nick? We can?
What? Are you serious? Uh,
Rip it or leave it.
uh-oh. Rip it? I guess some things are just made to be broken.
Yay. You know, Nick, you're pretty swell sometimes.
All the time, baby.
Hiya! There, that should make the kids happy.
The things we do.
Well, we we did things today. We helped
Is this
children.
illegal?
Oh, probably, but only if you're caught. Everything's legal until you get caught.
I like the way you're saying these words. The drain is off. And I know who did it.
Now the kids are able to come in again. Doesn't it make you feel great to do a good deed like that?
Must be nice to live so free of guilt. The remains of the other day's lunch are scattered around. Everyone's probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak. That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment.
Wow, Nick, you know a lot about the industry.
Hmm, what else would they keep in film studio?
Dressing room. October 18th, Global Studios dressing room. This is where the Steel Samurai costume was on the day of the murder.
That's what Mr. Power says, at least. I guess they snuck in and took it while sleeping.
But Nick, well, Mr. Powers hadn't been sleeping. I wonder what the killer was planning on doing then.
Huh? She's got a point.
I believe he already examined everything here. There's a bed, the window, the costumes, the tea set, his bags. Unless things changed. Some tea and cookies. Wait, Nick. You there, Bale?
What now? Sorry, slightly distracted.
These snacks. They're past the expiration date.
Then don't eat them.
Oh, they're snacks. They're meant to be eaten. Alrighty then.
I realized I was starting to get tired, but I'm like, there's no reason for me to
Oh,
be tired at 9 p.m. I'm not going to bed anytime soon.
I thought you went to bed at 9 for your work schedule.
Not lately, bud.
Hmm.
Not lately.
Hmm. Is it back to
Oh,
late night bail?
hello. It is very much late night bell again. It's not super late night bell, but it's definitely late night bell.
Yeah.
It's not 4 a.m. bell.
Hmm. Ho ho, you look a little out of place.
It, it's the clothes, isn't it? I thought my camo vest would do the trick. It's kind of an alternative guard fashion thing.
Let me talk to you about, studios.
So how are the studios doing? There's police wandering around everywhere. It's terrible. They won't even let me clean up the place. Don't want me disturbing the evidence. I haven't even cleaned up our lunch plates from the day of the murder. You mean those plates with the steak bones left all over the employee area? Yeah, can you believe it?
The fanboy. Do kids sneak in here, Lord?
Well, I don't think that there's many of them, but I do see one in particular a bunch. He's always gawking at sets and snapping pictures. You should see old Windbag's eyes flash when she sees him. She has a bit of trouble catching him, though.
The director at all.
I heard something at the trial. I heard something at the trial today. Sorry, Penny and Phoenix are now fucking me up.
Isn't
They
that?
said that huh?
I was gonna say that's an interesting maison trois.
Was that is that English?
It's French.
Ew. What does it mean?
That's the fancy way of saying a threesome. Because you said they were fucking you.
They said that the director and producer were here the day of the murder.
Sandbagging me, I see. Go on.
Oh, oh, sorry. I was in the prop storage room. I didn't see them. I guess they were here, though. The studio seemed the studio head seemed pretty eager to keep us quiet.
Well,
Everybody here is so shady.
well, it's Hollywood, or the Phoenix Wright equivalent of Hollywood. So they were trying to protect the director.
Or the producer, really. The producer's a real star here. She saved the studio from the brink of disaster and she saved these studios from I don't think we'd still be in business if it weren't for the producer. The producer, huh?
Alrighty then. Let's go to Southside Studio 1. October 18th, Studio 1 entrance. Oi, Nick. It looks like Detective Gumshoe ain't here today.
You're right. He's probably up to his paperwork after the commotion at today's trial.
Up to his paperwork in neck. So, Nick, remember that Studio 2 we heard about the trial today? It was down that path of the fallen tree, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Maybe the director and the rest of them are there today? Now's our chance, Nick. Let's check it out. Studio 2. Oh, 2. October 18th, Studio 2 entrance.
This place sure is deserted.
Crash. Hey! Nick, what was that noise? It sounded like it came from inside the trailer.
Someone must be inside.
Hello?
No answer.
Pretty suspicious if you ask me, Nick. Let's go in.
I'm not sure we should just go barging in. Huh. It's locked.
What? Don't we have a key?
No. But there is one. Then what are we waiting for?
Let's borrow it.
You skip my line.
I'm sorry,
Ah,
sometimes I forget to take my thumb off the button and it does a double line.
the double line. If they'll let us.
But let's have a look-see. Oh, we can slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap. Van!
A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'll run fine.
Well, let's go for a drive.
Sure. If only I had a license.
Nick, you don't have a driver's license. How have we been
Nick,
getting around to all these places?
Nick, you don't have a driver's license? This is where I'd put my driver's license. If I had one. But I do have this.
Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick?
Incinerator. Apparently, they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much.
incinerator in crime dramas are going to be used for burning evidence.
Yep.
Just
Check the inside of the incinerator. Looks like two people ate here. There's nothing left but the plates.
Oi, so they ate T-bone steaks too?
Why does everybody like steak around here?
Oi, there's always room for steak. But
Steak.
something does seem out of place.
Steak. Steak. Steak.
Dun 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 dun.
Glad you saw where I was going with that.
I don't
What?
I don't know, it just feels odd. I don't see no bones.
These look like materials for making a movie set.
They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard.
There's flowers here.
Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these.
Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous.
Watch out, that fence is armed and dangerous. It's got a gun.
On a closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. The trailer door is locked. The key is probably in the security guard station. I doubt they'd let us borrow it.
You okay there, William Shatner?
No.
And also, it's past 9, so I'm gonna do a little savey save.
Shit. Damn. I knew if I went to the restroom it'd go by faster.
It's fine, it's fine.
I was like, oh, maybe I could save it. And then, I'm sitting here like, maybe let's not almost shit ourselves on camera.
It would have been hilarious, though.
No, it wouldn't have.
For me, it would have. For the viewers, it would have.
Wow.
Maybe not
And
for
just
you.
see me waddle off, be like, my pants.
Well, I assume you would turn off the stream before you go waddling.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming by the stream. I love you so much. Bye bye.